I recently have been watching some YouTube videos of this time, and I've noticed how many videos are actually on YouTube about cracking backs, and there's a bunch of different professionals that are on there that are doing back manipulations and getting cavitations and loud cracks and pops. So I wanted to actually put together a little video where I can go through a couple ways that if you're at home you can do some back cracking yourself. And it's actually really important if you do it in the right way, because you can mobilize your thoracic spine, which you need as an athlete. And in fact, the overwhelming majority of people, nearly everyone, has stiff thoracic segments, which lead to compensation above and below. So we'll go through this video, just a couple ways at home you can self-mobilize to get the segments moving a little bit. So it's not about the pop, that's the first thing I'll tell you. It's about the movement. So I'm trying to get movement through segments that traditionally don't like to move as much based on the way they're built in the rib cage and things like that. I don't do lumbar manipulations, and I don't advise that you try to do any of those at home. The lumbar spine is something that's traditionally hypermobile in the overwhelming majority of people. And trying to manipulate a hypermobile joint, you're just mobilizing hypermobility. That's not a good plan. We want to mobilize hypomobility, where you don't have enough mobility. So there's two ways in which you can do it. A little traction one here, and there's a couple different ways you can do traction, but a little traction here you can use a countertop, whatever, and we'll use our foam roller here. So here I'm on the ground, and I already got a couple. So I'm just on the foam roller. It's under my thoracic spine. I have to make sure that my knees are bent, number one, which is going to help flatten out my lumbar spine a little bit. There, I have a little bit of a co-contraction of my core. So I have some core stability going on because I'm not trying to arch my low back, my lumbar spine over the foam roller. I'm arching only very, very small amounts. From there, what I'm going to do is I'll just roll across it a couple times. Now, a lot of times that won't do anything. So I gotta actually do this to the segments. From there, I take my hands and put them right on my hips, and there they go. So I'm actually doing this while I have a force pushing from behind. So similar to what we would do in physical therapy, or what you see a lot of chiropractors do, where they kind of come down on the back and they give a little thrust. Similar to that. And it's hard to get the upper ones, especially those are the ones that really need to go. You can't do a lot for those. From there, I can hug myself, roll, and then what I actually do, and we outlined this in a previous video, is just little moving it segment to segment, just little extensions over the foam roll. It's in our thoracic self-mobilization video. Make sure to check that out. From there, you know, if I feel okay, I feel a lot better. I can extend a lot better. I can rotate through my thoracic spine a lot better, but I'm still a little tight. I can come right here to a countertop. I actually have two plyo boxes stacked here. I let my hands take the weight, so I'm actually doing a little traction, and then I give it a little thrust, just like that. So what I'm not doing is I'm not holding up a bunch of weight with my legs. My legs are resting. Oop. Countertop's a little better than this, won't slide. But from there, I'm resting my legs. They're just hanging loose, and then little thrusts. And I've gotten 2 cavitations, probably around T3, T4, and then on here, you know, from maybe T10 up, I had some. You know, the upper ones towards the top are going to be of the thoracic spine, top of your back, here to there are going to be the most important. And this can definitely get some little manipulations, mobilizations in there. Very safe. I'm tractioning everything. So both of these are very, very safe as long as I'm not doing a ton through my low back, you know, doing a ton through my mid-cervical spine, and I'm not doing some crazy amount of force. So it's just, you know, arm pressure, little traction, little roll. Always engaging my core when I do the foam roller, and then everything is nice and relaxed, even my shoulders. You know, I just got my hands on here, a little pop. So, you know, you might not be able to do it as good as a manual therapist, and you likely won't be able to do it nearly as well as a manual therapist, but you can get some of this stuff going on your own, and this is something that you can do before your workout. You know, maybe I'm going to be doing a bunch of upper body stuff, maybe I'm doing some athletic stuff. I need mobility through my rib cage, so this is something you could do in the morning. So, you know, give us a thumbs up if you like the video. And like I said, you know, this isn't something you need to do every day, but if you do something like this once a week, that's perfect. And from there, video, hit subscribe. You know, that way you're not going to miss any of our future videos. And if you're interested more in this type of stuff, we actually have a corrective exercise program on our website that goes through thoracic mobility and stability, where we use a lot of different band exercise, variable resistance, into rotational things, thoracic extension, core stabilization. That's all on our website, overheadathletics.com. Check that out right now if you haven't yet, and get on there. Check out some of our programs. We got throwing programs on there and stuff. We got a bunch of free content as well. So make sure you guys check that out if you haven't yet.